Hey everyone, Melody here from Melody Stitches. Long time no see, y'all. It has been a long time since I've done a video. I think just over a month. Yeah, just over a month. Because I know that. Because I have a kitten that's just over a month old. Yeah, I think she was born like 2 days after I made my last video. And she just turned 4 weeks old on Tuesday. And she is an only kitten. Like an only child. That's so weird. I know that my little pregnant kitty made an appearance in my last video, and yeah, a couple days later she went into labor, and we had a box ready and blankets, and we were expecting like a whole passel of kittens. We got one kitten. She's super sweet though and really fuzzy, and I'd show her to you, but she's sleeping, and much like babies, when she's sleeping, I let her sleep because she is very much an only child. She's loud and obnoxious and demands attention. And I already tried to film this once, and my phone cut it off when it rang, and I didn't want to try to edit things, so I started over, but the whole time she was climbing my bare legs and terrorizing me with her little hypodermic needle claws. So most of my last video was just me wincing and, like, you know, inhaling sharply because, ow. So now she's sleeping, so maybe you'll be saved that mess. If she's asleep that long, we'll go quickly. Hi, how are you guys? Welcome back. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks to all my subscribers and commenters and thumbs uppers and likers and nice people. I haven't had one negative comment on my videos at all. No thumbs down, no negative comments. You people are awesome. You're really awesome. I'm gonna write your parents and tell them what a good job they did and how awesome you are. And you know, and if you don't have parents, then I'll just write the person that you like the most. You tell me who it is and I'll write them a letter commending you on your awesomeness. Thank you guys. So today I'm back. Obviously Stitch Mania is over. This is the 3rd of June, Friday. I did not succeed at Stitch Mania, so to speak. I did not fail. I started some stuff, but I did not succeed in the way that I had hoped. I got 8 starts out of the 15 that I wanted to do, which is more than half, which is good enough for me. So I will show you what those are. As soon as I find them, I will show you what those are. Oh, this one. I started on May 1st. Country Cottage Needleworks, Home Sweet Home. Little pink house. I would have never made a house pink. Like in real life, if I were building a house or picking house colors, pink wouldn't jump out at me. But this one is, Classic Colorworks Prickly Pear is the color. I love it. I love it. If I ever build a house, I'm going to tell the house builders that I want my house Prickly Pear. Let's see what comes of that. Probably get some ugly puke greenhouse or something, but I'll give them this as a reference. This color. This is what I have done on my Home Sweet Home. Now, this is what I got done for Stitch Mania. Just that border and those couple flowers there. And then I've been working on it for the last 4 or 5 days in the evenings, and I built a house. So not all of that progress is from Stitch Mania. Don't get excited. Like, I don't even have time to start stitching until like between 9 and 10 o'clock at night. So there's no possible way I could have done this all in one night. I would have been up until halfway through my work shift the next day. But here's where it stands now, because I did actually go back to it and I put some more work into it. I like it. So that was day 1. Day 2, I also liked, and I also went back to a lot. Day 2 was Serendipity Designs Fantasy Sampler. Oh, my Home Sweet Home is on, it says 32 count white even weave, but I think they're lying and it's really 28 because it looks like all my other 28. So that's what we're going to go with. It's 28 count white, just random generic even weave. This, day 2, Serendipity Designs Fantasy Sampler. This is the one that I had told y'all that I had in my stash forever and ever, and I had no idea why I never started it. I still have no idea why I never started it. Like, I could have had this done by now. I could have had this done like 8 times by now. I have put almost no actual clock time into this. Like, I went back to it a lot, but I would start my project for whatever the day was, and I'd work on it for like maybe 45 minutes or an hour, enough till I felt like I actually had a start on it, and then I would go back to this, and I'd work on it for like another 45 minutes or an hour. I only did that for like, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 days, and I can't believe how much I got done. There's only probably 4 or 5 colors in this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's 5 colors in this, and then 2 of them are blended. So 7 symbols altogether. And the back stitch around any of the letters that have it, like here on the M, the L, things where like the filigree stuff, that's all 2 strands of floss, same color as the letter. I don't even have to change it out of the needle. Y'all, this couldn't be any easier if someone stitched it for me. Like, for real. So, why I didn't get back to this? I have no idea. Why I'm showing it to you upside down, I have no idea. Let's try to show it to you in a manner in which you can actually look at it, okay? While I try not to stab myself on this needle that I left in here. That is where I have gotten. That is more than a quarter of the pattern. And it goes so fast. Like, I can get about a letter an hour done. Maybe a little bit more if they're small letters. Yeah, super fast. Super easy. Why I have not started this sooner, I don't know, but I'm going to keep asking myself that until it's done. And then probably after I hang it on my wall, I'll look at it every time and I'll say, why didn't I finish you sooner? Yeah. And I will never have an answer. That was day 2. Day 3. Day 3 I am done with. Not done with, not finished. I'm done with it. I'm starting it over. Day 3 was Little House Needleworks, Home of a Needleworker. I love this chart. I love this project. I do not love that I decided I wanted it on white. So I picked a random white even weave that happened to be just a skosh too small for what I needed it to be. So what did I decide to do to solve my problem? I decided, sorry, I just knocked my stand here. I decided to stitch it 1/1. This took me a coon's age. If you don't know how long a coon's age is, you're not old enough. When you get older, you'll know that a coon's age is a really long time. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not doing 1/1 anymore. It's probably just because it's the border and it's the same color and it's the same pattern and it's the same repeat, but it goes all the way across the top and then all the way across the bottom. No, I'm starting it over. I'm putting it on different fabric and I'm doing it 2/2 because that's what makes me happy. That was day 3. Day 4, love this one. The mantra of this video is, why didn't I do this sooner? Or, in some cases, why didn't I stitch on this longer? This is my afternoon in New York. I love this. We all know how much I love New York. I believe I made that abundantly clear in my last video. Abundantly. I love New York. Love it. I love this pattern. This fabric is 28 count Sandcastle Jobelin by Picture This Plus. And that is where I got to on this. I may actually put away Home Sweet Home tonight, and I may pull this one out and see how far I can get on it before I fall asleep watching Netflix or something, which is usually what happens. I'm off work tomorrow, so I can stay up late tonight and party, which means I'll be dozed off on the couch by 9 o'clock, because that's how it always happens. Is that how it happens with you? You get a day off the next day, you can stay up late, you can stitch, you can binge watch Netflix. My husband gets off work at midnight, so like I have the TV to myself until he gets home, and then I could stay up and yak with him, we could watch a movie, we could stitch. No, what happens? Melody falls asleep on the couch, like 9 o'clock. And then she can't get her eyes pried open to get up and do anything, so then she goes to bed. And then she's awake the next morning at 6 o'clock on her day off, tired and cranky. Does she feel like stitching? No, she angrily does housework for half of her day off. Welcome to my life. It's great to be here. I'm going to stitch tonight. If I fall asleep, one of you call and wake me up, okay? Promise. Okay, day 5. Day 5. This is one of those nights that I started really, really late, and I'm pretty sure I fell asleep stitching this, and my husband had to prod me and send me off to bed, so I got almost nothing done on it. But I did do something. I started it. This is Designs by Lisa. Life's Good, Live the Journey. And see how long this is? How much is going on there? Now commit that to memory. And look at what I did. Wild, I know, right? Look at all that. That's what I managed to do before I fell sound asleep. But you know what? It'll get done. I'll go back to it. Soon, one day, maybe. I'll go back to it and it'll get done. This is on 32 count, cream, even weave. Nothing special. I can't even tell you who makes it. I think I got that in a giant. I bought a bunch of like remnants of even weave and stuff in a basket from a local quilt shop that sells cross stitch supplies, and I think that was one of them. They weren't really labeled. Day 6. My daughter randomly fished this out of the Stitch Maynia Toad of Promise, which is now known as the Stitch Maynia Toad of Shame. There are still 7 patterns languishing in it that did not get started and probably will not get started anytime soon, but they're all in there and they have each other. They'll be okay. I check on them periodically. So far, no casualties. Day 6, my daughter stuck her hand in and she closed her little eyes and she pulled out Little House Needleworks Autumn Band Sampler. I love this one. It goes super fast. I only worked on it on the night that I started it, on May 6th, but I'll tell you why I love it. This one is on a random, another one of those remnants, piece of 28 count, probably some form of cream, ivory, antique white linen. Don't mind my thread here hanging, I just sort of pulled the needle out and left it. But this is what I have done so far, and I love this one because this is an 8-inch hoop. I'm pretty sure either 8 or 10. I only buy one size, I just can't remember what size it is. That's the size that I prefer to use, and I love when the whole pattern fits inside the hoop. So this makes me so happy. This is the top of the pattern. You can see my hoop marks there. So I can put that in there, and I could probably get 4 or 5 bands done before I would have to move the hoop down. That makes me happy. Nothing is more frustrating than having to do half and then scoot it over and do the other half and then move it down and scoot it over. That just frustrates me, and it makes me not want to do it anymore. And I don't want to not want to do it anymore. I want to do it some more. So that makes me happy. I'll probably work on that one pretty soon. Day 5, 6, 7. Day 7 was Nora Corbett, Coral Charms. Love this one. Absolutely love this one. I love these colors. The green, the yellow, the like really super bright fuchsia pink. Oddly enough, a color I wasn't expecting. I'll show you here in my progress. This is where I'm at with her. See this right here? You can see that. It's blue. There's blue in her hair. I didn't realize that just looking at the picture, and I had to look at the symbol 4 or 5 times, and then I had to go online and look at pictures of people's progress. And then I had to go to one of my stitch groups on Facebook and say, hello, is anybody else stitching this? And is your mermaid's hair blue? Like, am I missing something? Nope, this is accurate. Once it's in there, I love it. I just was a little thrown. There's even blue-ish beads there that go along with it. So I have started putting in some of the beads. Like I said in one of my last videos, all of my Mirabilias, I don't know why, it's the only ones that I do this with. I've stitched Joan Elliott's, I've stitched other, goddesses, fairies, mermaids, whatever you want to call them. These are the only ones I do it with, and I don't know why. But I start at the top every time. I put in the stitches, the back stitching, and the beads as I go down. So by the time I get down here and she's at the bottom, she'll be done. Completely done. So this I've already started putting the beads in, you can see up here. And I am working on, as much as possible, stitching from my stash. My daughter is on an international mission trip for the next 9 days. And obviously there were costs involved with that, and it is pretty pricey. So one of the things that I sacrificed for her to be able to go was my stitching budget, which is fine. I have more. I have enough stash. I could stitch something different every day until I die, and the rest of it could be buried with me, and when they find it in 1,000 years, somebody else could stitch it for a lifetime. It's ridiculous. Seriously. Absolutely ridiculous. So I replaced the beads in here. I only had 2 of them in my stash that I needed, but I went through and compared the colors online and, you know, the description, and I just found random beads that I had that are, you know, other Mill Hills that worked for what I needed, and replaced them with those. Nobody's ever going to know but me. And if anybody does know besides me, they got way too much time on their hands. I got a house they can clean. I got laundry they can do. I mean, if you got that much time to be figuring out that I didn't use the exact bead for my memorabilia, I got a million things I can give you to do. This is also the one that I'm supposed to be, these tendrils up here, those are green Krennic. That's supposed to be holographic Krennic. It's not, and it's still shiny. So take that. Does what it's supposed to. I like stitching from my stash. I like being self-sufficient. And I like having things when I need them and not having to wait for orders to come in. Day 8. This is the last day I got to, and I'm not even going to show you this one because I despise it, and I'm also starting it over. This is Little House Needleworks, Born in a Manger. And I'm just going to show you that and tell you that what I did with it, I don't like. So I'm not going to keep it. I'm going to start it over, put it on different fabric, because I don't like it. So that is my Stitch Mania. I've only worked on one other whip, and that was my Les Pensées Positives, the Jardin Privé freebie Sal. I don't have it on hand, and I'm not going to get up and go get it this moment. But I did put quite a bit on it. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen that I had a page finish with it. I'll be sure and bring it out for my next video and show you my progress on that. Otherwise, I haven't worked on any of my other whips. I know I said I put Lady Alexandra, my other memorabilia, I put her back on my Q-snaps, and then I did not touch her again. I put her in the Great Stitching Storage Ottoman, and I closed the lid on her, and that's where she lays. She's probably crying. I don't know, I can't hear her. She has a lid on. So, that's that. That's my Stitch Mania progress. My one whip that I don't have with me, so I can't show you, but look me up on Instagram, @MelodyStitches, and scroll back a couple weeks through my pictures. You'll see it on there, and I'll show you on my next video. Going forward, I know I don't plan things. I try not to set goals, really. I have ideas that I'd like to accomplish, but I don't plan things in order to avoid not following through with things and then being disappointed. So I have an idea that, along with my stitching from stash that I've been doing, that I would like to spend the rest of the year not only focusing on these starts that I've made for Stitch Mania, but also focusing on a lot of the freebie charts that I have. I have some really, really nice ones, and I really want to get to stitching them. They're just languishing away in PDF format, or, you know, printed off in folders, and I don't need to buy any more things because I have a ton of freebie stuff that could probably keep me busy for the next 5 years. And I like all of it. It's really nice stuff. It's from designers that I like. It's patterns that I love. So I think I'm going to start putting some more focus on that. These that I've started, obviously, I'm going to work on, but I think I'm going to move towards at least trying on a fairly regular basis to incorporate the start of a free pattern here and there, so I can at least get those in the works. Now, with that being said, my stitch from stash, my stitchy budget out the window because of my daughter's mission trip and the finances required for that, wanting to stitch my freebies. See, y'all, I'm a Gemini. There are two sides of me. This one says, stitch from your stash, don't buy anything, stitch your free stuff, you've got plenty, you silly goose. And this one says, ha, look at this stuff, let's buy it. And I did, but I bought it from a thrift store. we scored big time. We were out thrifting for the clothes that my daughter was going to wear on her mission trip, because she's going to a third world country where it's rainy season, so it's going to be muddy and dirty and sweaty, and they're building a community center, so there's going to be sawdust and concrete and wood and who knows what else, probably bugs and monkey pee, I don't know. Anyway, she's not bringing her clothes home. So we went thrifting for the clothes that she was going to wear, and while she was picking out clothes, my husband and I were looking through the craft areas at the thrift store, and boy, did we strike it. So, for those of you that don't like haul, feel free to check out. Bye. See you next time. Thanks for stopping in. For those of you that do, warm up your coffee, grab your stitching, sit back, relax. I'm going to show you what I found. And then I'm going to tell you what I paid for all of it, because I'm not ashamed of that. I have no problem telling anybody what I paid for anything. I won't hide it. It's just money. We make it, we spend it. We make it, we spend it. We die, we can't have it anyway. So it's just money. So here's what we found in no particular order. I tried to sort these out a little bit by designer, but in no particular order. First off, I have 4 of the 3 Stockings series by Blackbird Designs. I have May flowers. You can see at the bottom there the different charts that are included in this one. I have Glorious June. I have Patriotic July. And I have Sweet August, which does not show the 3 charts, but there's one. And then there are the other 2. That one is a poppy design, and that one is well, that's a flower that I could probably guess at, but I'd probably be really wrong. So it's another flower. That's another flower. That's a poppy, and that's another flower. Good enough. So there's those. I got 3 of the Pattern of the Month series. I believe there were 6 of these, so I may go back and look online and see if I can find the other 3. But I got December 2013, and then January and February of 2014, and this is what the whole thing will look like when it's done. These are the, I don't know if these have a title necessarily. They just call them Pattern of the Month. But here's December 2013, Live Joyfully, Love Sincerely. And then January 2014, Give Generously, Care Deeply. And February 2014, Forgive Freely, Hug Tightly. And each one of these had charms that came with it, and inside on the chart it shows where the charms go. But it also gives you a stitch diagram to fill in if you don't have the charms, and I'll probably just do that because I don't know how easy those charms will be to come by at this point. I got Lizzie Kate. This is Stitching Friends, and there's 3 different patterns there. Friendships are stitched in love, Stitching Friends Forever, and then this one just says Friends Forever. And this one did come with the little buttons and scissor charm that go with those. I got a Just Nan Whimsy, part of the Ornament series. This is Jolly Old Elf, who on the back they affectionately refer to as J-O-E, Joe. So he is Joe the Elf. Cute little thing. I may see if I can find that frame. It mentions on the back that it's available online. This is Glory Bee, Quaker Game Board. Different from the Quaker Game Board that Mackenzie was stitching, but a Quaker Game Board all the same. Let's see. This is Susie Designs. It's called Stardust. It says, babies are bits of stardust blown from God's hands. I highly doubt that I will stitch this. It has one pattern for this and then a separate pattern for the stars that go. This is meant to be in an Afghan. I highly doubt that I'll stitch this, but this one was 25 cents and there's DMC stuck in the back of it. So I bought it for the DMC, and I probably will regift this to another stitcher. I got a Heart in Hand, Harvest Blessings, says, be ever thankful. Excellent advice. Be ever thankful. And if there's ever a time that you can't find anything to be thankful for, remember that you woke up and you were breathing, and be thankful. That's my PSA for the day. I got Prairie Schooler, Amish Life. I hadn't seen one of these in a long time, so picked that one up. Let's see. Oh, I got several Little House Needleworks. I got Blessed Are the Peacemakers. I know this one originally came as a kit that had all the floss and everything with it. That's gone. I'm sure that whoever donated this probably had stitched it already, but that's alright. I have the chart, so I'll provide my own floss. I have several of these already, the Dear Diary series. I did not have this one. This is Hannah Purington, 1796. And that says she is from Harpswell. I assume that's somewhere on the Atlantic. Guessing by the little guy in the boat chasing the whale. But who knows. And this one comes with an additional pattern there. Each one of these has like a little diary entry. And then comes with an additional little virtue pattern. This one's Honesty. If you haven't looked at the Dear Diary series, look them up. They're really cute. I have several of them. I got another copy of Home of a Needleworker. I don't need 2 copies of it, but for what I paid for it, I picked it up, and it will be gifted to someone else. I got A Stitcher's Prayer, Little House Needleworks. While stitching threads with gentle care, I pray this humble little prayer, that with this work the world may see the beauty and simplicity. This one's been on my wish list at 123 Stitch for a while, so I was glad to come across that. And this one had been on my wish list also, Little House Needleworks. This is City Stitcher, Country Stitcher. I'm going to speed this up because we are going to run out of daylight. We're going to run out of day. Almost out of day. These are my husband's. These are the ones that he has commandeered for himself. These are Creative Moments designed by Annis Duncan. I had never seen these before, but they're kind of cute. There's these are 2 different ones, but there's Thanksgiving, Happy Thanksgiving, and Christmas. A very Merry Christmas to you, to be precise. This Waxing Moon Designs. This is Gingerbread Angel. I don't know that he'll stitch this one or not, but I put it in with the stack of his stuff because see this right here? This is like charms, and this is string, and it's tied in a bow, and this is not something that I am capable of doing neatly. She would have like charms under her armpit and like one on the side of her head. There'd just be string hanging. It would be ugly. It would not be anything befitting an angel. So I put that in his stack, and maybe he'll see it and stitch it, and it'll look pretty. Also, it didn't come with the charms, so, you know, might be a moot point, but she sure looks cuter with them. Sunflower Samplings Quilt Trio. He really liked this one. It's just got 3 different little quilt square designs, and you can do them in whatever colors that you want. He's probably going to do them in some manly colors. Black and gray and silver. He picked this one up, American Chronicles. I'm not sure how far he's going to get with it because we got it home and realized that this heart is Hardanger. And then he started reading the instructions and he was like visibly sweating. So I don't know that he's going to tackle that one anytime soon. And the Prairie Schooler, American Strawberries. I like these. I love the little design patterns on them. I'm not going to stitch them. He might, but I could never make anything look like that. Ever. I can't sew. I can sew holes closed and I can sew buttons on, but to sew buttons on takes like 50 yards of thread. They're only on because they don't have any choice. Yeah, so we'll see how far he gets with those. And then we got Needle Mania. This is Fireflower. I am not a fan of those colors, so I will be changing those out, but I really like that design. 2 from Bent Creek. I got one, the Littles. This one's called Snowman. What? Who knew? It's the cutest little thing, though. Cute little snowman. And then I got this Four Seasons house. I thought that was super cute. I don't know about stitching all that brown in the house, but the rest of it's really cute. Elizabeth's Garden, the Snowflake Sampler. That's just a repeating pattern in different colors. I guess it's not 100% repeating. The colors are repeating, but each Each snowflake is different, just like in real life. Super cute. And then J Designs, this is Cherished Memories. I won't read that to you, so I'm going to assume that you can read it yourself. I really like the colors in that. I think I'm going to try and find like a pinkish fabric to put that on. It's very pretty. Cricket Collection, Patriotic Sampling. I want to do this on like a 36 or 40 count, really kind of distressed looking linen, just to make it look really old, like it's been around for a while. I really like that pattern. This one I have been looking for forever. When my husband handed me this, I almost fainted. I have been looking for this on eBay, Amazon, all the stash sites on Facebook. Anytime I find it, it is like a ridiculously expensive amount, and now watch, somebody's probably going to find one for like $3 as soon as I post this video. Scripture samplers. This is a Praying Hands design. I don't think this is in, I'm sure this is not in print anymore. I love these. Absolutely love these, and I was so tickled to see this whenever he picked it up and handed it to me. Those are on the to-do list like ASAP, as soon as I start a free thing. Probably. A couple by Imaginating, Diane Arthur's. One is Thankfulness. Give thanks always. Another good sentiment. Be ever grateful. Give thanks always. Thought that was really cute. And then this is my husband's, Cardinal Blessings. Too much red for me, but he likes it, so more power to him. I got Bright Needle. This is Needleworks Shop. I thought that was super cute. All the little, there's a little dress there, and a sewing machine, and shelves with all the different little stitchy goodies on there, little notions. This is Forever in My Heart, Cross Stitcher at Work. I'm going to stitch both of these and hang them directly around my neck every time I stitch, like tiny little sandwich boards. This is Hand Blessings. A house is not a home without needlework. This is a kit, and it comes with the charms there, and then 28 count fabric and the floss that goes with it. Another Hand Blessings. This is the Twin Cardinal Quilt. This didn't come with anything but the chart, but I think this will probably be another one that my husband will stitch. Not a big fan of birds. They're okay. I don't hate them. Just not, you know, they're not my favorite. Elephants are my favorite, not birds. Anyway, back to reality. This is Biltmore Estate. I really like this. I think it's gorgeous. There's also a lion, but he looks a little pompous, so I'm not going to stitch him, just out of spite. Last two. This is another one I've been looking for forever. I've seen it on some of the stash sites, but people want $83.5 million for it, and I'm not willing to pay that much for it. This one has a tiny bit of water damage, but I checked, and the chart is completely readable, so breathe a sigh of relief. This is And a Forest Grew, Rosewood Manor. I have been wanting to do this forever, so hallelujah for finding that one. And let's see. I picked up a magazine because I really like this sampler that was on the front of it. That's probably the only thing I'll stitch out of there. I looked through, didn't see anything else that caught my eye. And the one I was most excited to find is Cirque de Caro, I think, ink circles. Now, all of that in 2 different thrifting stops for less than $10. The majority of that came from one Goodwill store. There were like 30 of those, 20 of those, something, packed up into one big Ziploc bag that was marked at 99 cents with a yellow tag. And the day that we went, yellow tags were half off. So I got like 20 some of those charts for 49 cents. All 20 for like 49 cents. The rest of them were like 60 cents here, 10 cents there, 25 cents there. Usually if I find things like that at the thrift store, they don't know what it is, they don't know what it's worth, and if I bring enough of it to the counter, they'll cut me a deal on it. So hubby and I bought all they had. except for a couple of kits that we just really didn't like. So I don't look to have a haul like that from the thrift store again for a very long time, but I'm very grateful for that one, and it will keep me busy, and I can stitch from stash with no guilt. Yay. That's it for today. That's really all I have going on. Yeah, I wanted to pop in while I had the chance and touch base with you guys. I will try to get another video filmed in the next week or so, while I have some time in the house by myself before everybody is, you know, home and it's chaos again. Yeah, I'd like to show you some of my finishes at some point, and maybe some of my storage. But if you have any questions or anything, leave them below. Any comments, leave them below. Anything that you'd like to see or know about or hear about, let me know below, and if it's something I'm willing to share, I absolutely will. Otherwise, I am going to turn on Netflix and make a hot cup of coffee, and I'm going to get to stitching, y'all, and I recommend you do the same. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.